Bruhattrayeeratna Ayurveda College, Ullur, and post-graduation in the year 2002 in Chalakya Tantra from Government Ayurveda College, Tiruvananthapuram. In the year 2006, he established Sunitri Ayurveda Ashram and Research Center in Thrissur for propagation of Ayurveda, especially in the field of autism. He has been working for autism spectrum disorder since 2002 and has developed the Sunitri protocol for the same. Sir has been awarded the Bharadwaj Puraskaram in the year 2015. In the year 2013, the NBK Warrior Memorial Ayurved Pracharan Puraskaram by Ayurved Medical Association of India, and many more. Vaidya M. Prasad Sir served as the principal of Ashtagam Ayurved Chikitsalayam and Vidyapeetham. With this, he learned the principles and practice of Ayurveda under legendary Acharya Padma Bhushan Vaidya Bhushan K. Raghavan Trimulapad, which he continued for 21 years and got trained in clinical Ayurveda under Padma Shri Dr. K. Rajagopalam. Recently, in the year 2021, he is appointed as Guru for the CRAU program by Rashtriya Ayurved Vidyapeeth, New Delhi. I would now request Sir to please start his session.
Namaste to one and all of you. A very good afternoon. First of all, let me extend my thanks to Vaidya Asutosh Nanalji and his team here representing the Vaidya Nanal Research Foundation for inviting me and giving this wonderful opportunity. Should I show this here to change the slide to this direction or to this direction? Yes, fine. So there is one story. In the Legislative Assembly, some serious discussion was going on. And one member of the assembly was sleeping, obviously, like many other members. And all of a sudden, there was some noise in the assembly, and immediately this fellow came out of his sleep and jumped up from his stage and demanded, my villagers need 20% reservation on that. Then the entire members started laughing, because the discussion going on was that about a project for hiring some donkeys for removing this waste garbage to a distant area. He was not aware of what is going on in the assembly. He was always demanding for his constituency, and he immediately 20% reservation for my villagers. So similarly, don't get up in between from the sleep and demand for some reservation. Especially, as my friend Dr. Shyam mentioned, after a very delicious sadhya and after discussing a lot about Kleda, it is quite difficult. But anyway, we are here to discuss something serious, and we have to do our business. First of all, this is my topic, understanding the rationale behind Margavarodhajanya and Dhadukshayajanya Vadakopa. Okay. It's an interesting topic, I think. This Vayu actually is a very interesting character. We have possibilities of discussing it in full length and breadth for days together. And I started working in such a way actually. But halfway through, I understood that this is not going to reach anywhere. That is why I have put this note. First of all, this is basically a presentation meant for the students and the fresh practitioners. And I could not include many treatment modalities. I think, of course, it is not coming under the domain in which I am supposed to present. And there can be many interesting ideas. Even I think we can debate on whether Vayu and Vata are same or not. So that is why I have put one disclaimer that in this presentation we have used the terms Vayu and Vata interchangeably, no dispute on it. Okay. Yeah. We hear a lot of stories, isn't it? Number of stories about Vayu. Vayu, Rayur, Balam, Vayu, many things. I've included it in this these 3 or 4 slokas. Sa Vishwakarma, Vishwatma, Vishwarupa, Prajapati, isn't it? Many things. And there is a suggestion that tad adushtav prayatnena yadidavyam adasada. That is what is Dr. Shyam was mentioning about Kleda also. That is another interesting feature of Ayurveda, that everything is good for anything, everything. Yukti is important, isn't it? And many times it creates some sort of a doubt whether Vayu is a savior or a villain. It is always a challenge, understanding the Vayu in its original context. So we will, that is why we have got chapters like Vadakala Kaliyam, isn't it? Even though Pitta and Kapha are mentioned there, we don't have a Pitta Kala Kaliyam or Shleshma Kala Kaliyam chapters. Then we have Vada Vyadhi Nidanam, not Pitta Vyadhi Nidanam or Kapha Vyadhi Nidanam. Vada Vyadhi Chikilsa we have. So all these things show that, okay, there is something which is to be seriously discussed about Vayu. So anyway, I think we will come to our title. That means understanding the rationale behind 2 types of Vada Prakopa. Marga Avarodha Janya and Dhadu Shaya Janya Vada Kopa. Okay. Yeah. These 5 questions are asked in Vada Kalakaliyam, isn't it? Kim Guno Vayuhu? Then Kim Asya Prakopanam? Upashamanani Vasyakani? Katham Chainam Asanghadavandam Anavasthidam Anasadya Prakopana Prashamanani Prakobayandi Prashamayandi Va. Then there is a 5th question. Kani jasya kupita kupitasya sharira sharira charasya sharireshu charataha karmani bahis sharirebhyo va. So these are the 5 questions about which I think the entire chapter Vada Kalakaliyam is spinning. The 5th question we are not going to answer in our presentation. We'll keep it aside because it is, again, it is not coming to our core area. That is the reason. Now, Kim Guno Vayuhu? Ruksha, Lekhu Shida Daruna Ghara Visadaha Shadime Vada Gunaha Bhavandi. Charagam. Vagbhada makes it Tatra Ruksho Lekhu Shida Ghara Sukshmas Chalo Anilaha. You can either follow Vagbhada or follow Charaka, but something is important. What is that? This Sukshma and Chala Guna of Vayu, which is highlighted by Vagbhada, maybe because of his observations, his experiences, they cannot be excluded. They are so crucial as far as Vayu is concerned, the Sukshma and Chala Guna. So either you can take it 8, okay, make it 8. Charaka 6, or you can explain the 6 gunas told by Charaka as including these 2. You can interpret it in such a way. Anyway, these are the properties of Vayu that we are considering. Then, kimasya pragobanam? That is the second question. Saha means Vayu tu evam gunaihi evam dravyaihi evam prabhavaischa karmabhihi abhyasymanaihi saha Vayu pragobam abadyate. It's the basic. Vridhi samanai sarvesham. Samana gunabhyaso hi dhadunam vridhi karanam iti. There is nothing to elaborate. Then, upashamanani vasyakani. What are the upashamana agents? Ado viparidani. Viparidayar viparyaya. Ado viparidani vadasya prashamanani bhavanti. Pragobana viparyayo hi dhadunam prashamana karanam iti. Then comes the next question. This is a very important question. What was the question? Katham chainam asanghadavandam anavasthidam anasadya pragobana prashamanani pragobayanti prashamayanti va. How can one agent cause the pragoba of Vayu or prashamana of Vayu, while the nature of Vayu is quite strange, so weird? What is that? Vayu is asanghadavan. It is not dense. There is no nibidada. Then it is anavasthita. That means its nature is so inconsistent. You can't expect it to be here at this point of time, because he may be traveling elsewhere. Then you go there, he may not be there, he might have moved to somewhere else. So anavasthita. So how is it possible to manipulate such a principle which cannot be landed upon? How is it practical? So that is a big question. That is a big question. Then see the answers given. We have already mentioned that Vada Pragobanani Khalu Ruksha Lekhushida Daruna Khara Vishada. Next is an addition. Sushira Karani Dhadunam. Sushira Karani Dhadunam. Then Tadhavideshu Sharireshu. Tadhavideshu Sharireshu Vayuhu Ashrayam Gatva Apyayamana Pragobam Abadyade. The factors which are identified as causing dhadukshaya they bring about this vadakoba. How? Tadhavideshu sharireshu. Here the sharira should mean dhadu. Vayu makes such shariras where these agents are working. These agents are dhadukshaya, causing dhadukshaya. So those agents are working on the sharira, causing dhadukshaya. Vayu makes such shariras, its aboard. Ashrayam gatva. Apyayamana. And gains support from all these factors. Gains support. Get nourished. Apyayamana. Get nourished by these agents which are similar in nature, and thus progresses to the stage of prakopa. That is what we are going to see in detail. Then next is about the vada shamana. Vada shamanani punaha snigdha guru shlakshna mrudu pichila ghanakarani. Words used are interesting. Previously we saw sushira karani. Here ghanakarani. Shariranam, when it is called shariranam, means sharira dhadus. Tadhavidheshu sharireshu vayuhu asajyamanaha charan prashantim abadyate. Asajyamanaha charan. Here is, we are discussing about vada shamana. The word shamana is relevant only where there is kopa happened. Isn't it? That is the question also. A kupita vayu, how it can be brought to the samavastha. So there is kopa happened. So in a sharira where vata kopa has already happened, dhadukshaya has already happened, when such a sharira, tadhavidheshu sharireshu, when such a sharira meets those agents which are opposite to the previous ones, here it is known as snigdhadi. Then what happens? Vayu loses its seat. One word we have to recollect is ghanakarani. Ghanakara dravyas gives nibidada. So what happens? In the presence of such agents, in such a sharira, in such a collection of dhadus, Vayu loses its seat. It is thrown out. And once thrown out from that seat where it was occupying and gaining support and becoming kupita, when once it is out from that area, as a very disciplined boy or girl, no problem, it starts moving through the prescribed srotas, reaches its seat, start delivering its normal function. Thus, tathavideshu sharireshu vayuhu asajyamanaha charan prashantim abadyate. Swasthanasthasya samata vikara asambhavaha shamaha or samaha swam karma kurvate. Okay. So this is known as vada shamana. But our area, what I am supposed to, or what we are supposed to discuss is vada kopa. So we will go back to it. See, this is what is happening in the picture, what we mentioned. Both we will see, just for an understanding. Rukshadi, dhadukshayakara nidanas, causing dhadukshaya. Sushira karani, space in the dhadus. Ashrayam, apyayamanam, vada prakopanam. Then snigdhadi, dhadu poshanam, loss of space in the dhadus. Ghanakarani, vayu forced out, moving through prescribed pathways. Vada prasad. Svedayettatah swabhyaktam sneha samyuktaihi sangaradhyaihi punah punaha. According to the sthana vishesha, sometimes this svedana may go to the extreme level of Agni karma. Snava sandhi sira prapte sveda daha upanahanam. Agni samparkam goes to the exchange of daha. Then, in samsarga sannipada conditions, this is again the standard reference. According to the strength, you have to decide. So the merit of each situation should be taken into consideration. But generally, Graishma Prayo Marutpitte Vasanda Kabhamarude Marudo Yoga Vahitwad. That is the baseline. Then coming to the Marga Avarodha, the general approach is to attend the Rodha first and release the Vayu from the clutches of the Rodha. Then work on its proper Anulomana. In Shwasa, we find it, isn't it? Tadartam cha purvam svedai rupajared. What is the purpose? Snigdhaihi lavanatailaktam taihi gheshu gradhitaha kabhaha sulinopi vilinaha. That was the target. We have to remove the obstruction in the pranavaha srotas. So Svedam gains importance. Coming to Arshas, I think it is there. This is Swada, Swasa. Yes, see this. What a wonderful statement. In Arsharoga Chikilsa, Bhitva Vibandhan Anulomanayayan Marudasya Agni Balaya Yacha. It's a big statement. Tadannapana Ushadham Arshasena Sevyam Vivarjyam Viparidam Asmad. So, target Bhitva Vibandhan. Remove the Vibandham. Anulomanayayan Marudasya Vada Anulomanam Agni Balaya Agni Balam. In Kerala, there is one famous Kashaya Yoga. Kashaya Yoga is everywhere. But a Kashaya Yoga which is famous among the Vaidyas of Kerala is Gandharva Hastadi Kashaya, which will serve all these purposes. Pavanasya Chandyehi Vanner Balaya Rujaye Malashodhanaya. So in all Vada Vyadhi Chikilsitam, the morning time before Pragbhaktam, Gandharva Hastadi Vashayam was a routine. Or if there is a Sweda Karma, just before starting the Sweda Karma, Gandharva Hastadi Kashayam was a routine. In the evening, some Vyadhi Viprita type of Kashaya may be given or Aushadha may be given. That was a standard program. Then, we mentioned about the importance of Pakvashya. This spins around all those ideas. But one point is very important. Very important. So when that statement is considered, it's a categorical, Egandiga Vajanam, isn't it? Such a categorical statement is considered, Vasti gains importance. So that is where Vasti is becoming a very important treatment. Because you see, in the management of Gulmam, we find Vasti Karma Param Vidyad Gulmaghanam. Why? Tadhi Marudam Swasthane Pradhamam Jitva Shighram Gulmam Apohati. Tadhi Marudam Swasthane Pradhamam Jitva Shighram Gulmam Apohati. So if Swasthana Vada is not brought to Samavastha, whatever Vishishta Aushadha you use, Gulma cannot be controlled. Whatever Vishishta Aushadha you may use, Arshas cannot be controlled. In Arshas we find an indication of Anuvasana. What is that? Udavarta paritaye ye chatyartham virukshita. Ye chatyartham virukshita. Because virukshana focuses in the Pakvashaya. Sthana Samshraya is also in the Pakvashaya. Swasthana kupita vayu. So this also should be considered. That is, you see, and this Vasti gains many other areas of importance. The first stance already I mentioned. This Vasti is supposed to be the Tasmat Chigilsardha iti pradishta. For the ardent fans of Vasti, they claim that Chigilsardha iti pradishta. Why? That state first three lines. Shakhagada Koshtagadascha roga marma urdhva sarvaveva angagascha ye sandhi tesham natu kaschidanyo vayoparam janmani hedurasti. One. Number two, vitsleshma pittadi malochayanam vikshepaha vikshepa sambharakara sayasmad tasyadi vruthasya samaya nanyad vaster param vaster vina bheshajamasti kinjid tasmad chigilsardha iti pradishta. So that is self-explanatory. I am not going to the details. But again, when this Vayu is in the Madhyama Roga Marga, especially in the Snayu Sira Kandara, this Vasti is not going to be very beneficial. That is why, in spite of a chapter called Vada Vyadhi, in spite of the statement that Vayu is the prime agent in all everything, and in spite of the statement that Vasti is the best Chikilsa, hardly we find any treatment with Vasti in Vada Vyadhi Chikilsa. Negligible. Very minimal. But there is one situation. That is, when you are repeatedly doing the Sneha and Sweda and Sneha and Sweda and Sneha and Sweda by Ahara, Vihara and Aushadha, this Sneha and Sweda is going to make the Kabha and Pitta Vruddham. And because of the Sweda, they will be drained to the Koshtam. And in that draining process, if they accumulate in the Pakwashaya and start showing symptoms, being Pakwashaya Adasthana in the Koshta, you cannot drain them with Vamana Virejana, but you have to go for Niruha. So that is one situation where Niruha can be seen explained in Vada Vyadhi Chikilsita. In Vada Shonitam, it is an avarana, but Anyonya avarana, a Vishishta type of avarana. Removal of the Rodha by the Rakta is the first priority. Taking enough care of Vayu. Alpalpam Palayan Vayum. Rakta Mokshana is done. Then Rakta Prasadana should be practiced. Vadanulomana, Vada Shamana should be achieved. And according to the stage, Brahmana also should be done. And Vasti is also important, especially Kshira Vasti. Nirharedva malam tasya sakridaihi Kshira Vasti bhihi nahi Vasti samam kinjid vada rekta chikilsidam visheshad payu parshoru parvasti jadarartishu. It's very important. So where Vasti is significant, where Tailam, where Kritam, where Trasanam, where Snehanam, all these things are precise, not generalized. Then coming to the avarana between the Vayus, it is very, very tough. Very difficult to make out it actually. Fortunately, they may not be manifesting as Swatantra Vyadhis, but definitely presenting as Lakshanas in the course of many Vyadhis. And can be identified if you are keen enough to observe see the Roga in its entirety, in completeness, then you can make out. Suspected when unusual or unexpected lakshanas appear in the course of a disease, sometimes during the treatment, sometimes through the progress of Vyakti. You have to suspect whether there is a avarana of one Vayu with the other. And can be confirmed by Upashaya Pariksha and then treated accordingly. Because that is a very, very subtle presentation. Pranadinam cha panjanam misram avaranam mithaha pittadibhirdvadashabhihi misranam misridaishchataihi misraihi pittadibhistadvad misranabhiranekadha taratamya vigalpacha yatyavridir asanghyadam. It is asangyada where we found that, okay, when prana is going to make avarana for udana, when prana to samana, what if prana and samana to udana, or apana and samana to prana? There are possibilities. Theoretical possibilities exist. And you have to keep that possibilities in mind. Because when you encounter a clinical situation beyond your expectations, you will have to think about these things. And another one is Samavayu. Obviously, Pajanam of the Ama is the first line. Very important. We should recollect one sloga from Ashtanga Hridaya. Sarvadeha pravisrudan saman doshan na nirhared leenan dhadushu anutklistan bhaladamadrasaniva ashrayasya nashaya tesyur durnirharatvataha. Then what should be done? Pajanaihi, deepanaihi, snehaihi, tan svedaischa parishkridan shodhayet shodhanaihi kale yadhasannam yadhabalam. So first line is Amapajanam, Agni Deepanam. Then you decide Shamanam or Shodhanam. Sthanam is important. Where? Matra is important. How much? Keep snehas away, always in the beginning. And once Ama is attended fully, Vayu is becoming Nirama, then Kevalavada Chikilsa may be done as per what we have discussed so far. Many situations like Urustamba Chikilsa, Amavada Chikilsa, we are seeing these things. Not in Vadavyadhi Prakaranam, even in other situations. Same Twama Vidhim Chared. Many situations. Yeah, that was the last slide. This is the quote from actually the Arthur Conan Doyle novel. You know who is that? I hope you know it. There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact. This is more important about Vada Chikilsa. When we feel that very obviously this is Kevala Vada, don't run after it. Think twice or thrice, if not for a fourth time. Because it can be a Margavarodhajanya, Kevala Vada, it can be an Avarana, it can be a Samsarga, it can be a Sannipada, it can be a Mudhavayu. Many possibilities are there. So don't jump into conclusions, seeing that this Lakshana is quite obvious to show that this is Vadagopa. Thank you.